climate speech that the president will deliver this afternoon in front of Georgetown elites. He'll deliver it later on today. Joining us now, Congressman Ed Whitfield, Republican from Kentucky, where there is a lot of coal. I've said this morning, Congressman, that the president is going to kill the coal industry. And I don't think there's much you can do to stop it because he's going to use the EPA. He's going round you in Congress. What do you say?
Well, Stuart, this is not a surprise. If you'll remember, when he was a candidate for president in San Francisco, he said that he would bankrupt the coal industry. It's the first time I've ever known of a candidate for president that specifically said he was going after one industry, and he has precisely done that through the regulatory agencies.
But you can't stop it, can you? Because, I mean, if it would come up for a vote in Congress, that vote would probably be a failed vote. But if he goes through the EPA, he can do it.
You're absolutely right, and the frustrating thing about this is he is being personally responsible for the loss of thousands of jobs. He obviously does not have much interest in states like Kentucky, Tennessee, Wyoming, where the coal industry is so vitally important and we're losing jobs dramatically. And the unfortunate thing is that these decisions are being made by Barack Obama and his administration, and they got a little cover from the Supreme Court, but there has been no public debate, no public discussion about the impact and the long-term ramifications of what he's attempting to do.
Can I ask you about your area, Kentucky, your state?
Yes.
A lot of the electricity generated in Kentucky comes from coal. With these restrictions on coal-fired power plants, what happens to the cost of electricity in Kentucky?
Well, electricity costs will definitely go up. And, you know, with Mayor Bloomberg giving $50 million to the Sierra Club, they are filing more and more lawsuits based on regulations against the coal industry. And, Stuart, I think the important thing to remember here is I do believe also that the president is catering to world public opinion, because the total gigawatts of CO2 emitted annually around the globe is 770 gigawatts. And I want you to know that man-made CO2 emissions, the total amounts to about 30 gigatons, but a lot of that is absorbed. So we're talking about a net 10 gigatons of CO2 emissions caused by humans. So in the spectrum of things, it's a very small, minute amount.
The Speaker Boehner, his spokesperson, has just said, this is the last thing we need. But I have to close this out, Congressman, by saying, you can't stop it, can you?
Well, we're going to try to pass legislation, and we have passed legislation on the House to stop it, but the U.S. Senate, Harry Reid, and friends of President Obama have not passed anything over there. But it's going to have a negative impact on us, and at the same time, let me just tell you something else. If we had totally stopped all man-made emissions in the United States 10 years ago, there still would be a net increase in CO2 emissions worldwide because of what's going on in China, India, Asia, and other parts of the world. So the president is taking action that will unilaterally damage our ability to compete in the global marketplace.
Congressman Ed Whitfield, Republican, Kentucky, thanks for joining us, sir, on a difficult day. We do understand that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, on Varney & Company.